So the next question is, do you plan to do YouTube after graduation? It's a really tough question for me to answer. Hi guys, and welcome back to Simply Avalon. I'm Avalon, and today, as you can tell from the title of this video, we're going to be diving into a get to know me tag. Since I've been making quite a few videos, but I recognize that some of you guys don't even know who I am. So I want to open up a little bit more and share a bit more about myself on this channel. That said, I will be looking down just a tiny bit since my phone has all of the questions. But let's go ahead and dive in with question number 1, which is, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream? So some of you guys do not know, but I am lactose intolerant, so I don't eat ice cream that much. So if you are seeing me eat it, it's probably something caramel related. I'm a big fan of salted caramel with chocolate. Next question is, did you play any sports growing up? And yes, I played quite a few sports growing up. The ones that I would say had the biggest impact on my life though were definitely soccer and maybe golf, but I at least went to lessons for gymnastics, golf, cross country, soccer, and basketball, but we definitely do not speak about my basketball days, like, at all. Next question is, how tall are you? I am 5'6", although I still like to say that I'm 5'7" on a good day. But now that my brother's much taller than me, it's a little bit tougher to make that argument. Next question is, if you could live anywhere, where would you want to live? So this is actually kind of a tough question because the answer for where I would want to live versus where I would love to have like an extended vacation are different. I think I would say in an ideal world, I would love to live in a city like Berlin. Love the church family that I found there. Also really like the lay of the land in terms of the city. A beach is reachable by the train, plenty of outdoors activities, and I'm kind of an outdoorsy girl, a little bit at least. What is something you cannot go a day without? I would probably say my laptop. It really goes everywhere with me and I absolutely love to use it. Now, if we have to talk about something that is non-digital, so like I can't say my phone or my laptop or my iPad, which are basically my top 3, then maybe I would actually say a protein bar, that or the Lululemon crossbody bag. Chef's kiss, it's been my go-to. My parents got it for my birthday and they have not seen me go a day, not even a day, without using it. What is your favorite color? Royal purple. I'm pretty sure I've told this story before, but I picked up that crayon when I was in 2nd grade and we were asked to draw a self-portrait, and I read the label off of that Crayola crayon, and ever since that day, it's really been my favorite color ever since. Why were you gone from YouTube? Great question. I would say that it was mostly a time management thing. In college, there's a lot of different things pulling you in a ton of different directions, and to say the least, I was very busy, and I still am pretty busy. But now that I've kind of removed myself from some of the clubs that I was very invested in, I now have a lot more time to devote to personal projects like my podcast and you guys on my YouTube channels. So next question is kind of a twofer. So it's asking me, what is your favorite music genre, and also who are your favorite music artists? Very interesting question, thank you. In terms of my favorite music genre, I would say my top 2 are gospel music, which, I mean, Kirk Franklin was one of my top artists this past year in 2022, so that should be pretty unsurprising. And my second would be R&B, because right after Kirk Franklin was actually Beyonce, and Renaissance has been an amazing album to listen to, even though some would argue it's electronic. Okay, sure. Jasmine Sullivan, you cannot argue with me, is definitely 100% R&B. And in terms of favorite musicians, this is a really tough answer because honestly, that answer changes every year. That said, if I were to answer this as in who would I want to see in concert, for the guys side, Brent Faiyaz is about as high up as you can get for me right now. I would absolutely love to see him in person, especially since I've already seen Kendrick Lamar now at this point. In terms of women, I would probably say Beyonce or Jasmine Sullivan. It was, if you would have asked me even a year ago, it would have been Ariana Grande, but we haven't had any new projects from her. Would you return to Germany? So for those of you guys who do not already know, I actually spent a semester in Berlin, Germany studying, and I absolutely loved it. And given the fact that I said earlier that I could 100% see myself living there, yes, I would definitely love to return to Germany. I think it would be an awesome opportunity. And I mean, ultimately, I would love to cover Germany or the EU from Europe, so that would just be a really cool opportunity. I like this next question. It's, what's a guilty pleasure of yours? So I would say one of my guilty pleasures is watching The Bachelor. I'm actually probably one of the biggest fans of the trashiest reality TV shows you can think of. I'm not talking about a show like Love is Blind or Real Housewives of insert city, although I will say Real Housewives of Potomac is so good. Personally, I'm a big fan of like The Bachelor, Temptation Island. I love reality TV shows. I feel like it's a really nice way to decompress after a long day and kind of watch something that really just doesn't matter at the end of the day. And a dream job of mine would probably be to create my own reality TV show. Not focused on me, but can you imagine if you were the person who got to do like House Hunters or create your own like reality love show? I have some ideas. If anybody's watching from any of those networks, please hit me up. I have plenty of ideas of some good reality TV love shows that you guys could make. How is college going? I'm actually gonna kind of bypass this question just a tiny bit, just because I've already created a video that will be going out in the next couple of weeks about my college experience. So don't worry, that answer is coming for you. But overall, I would say pretty good. Senior year is tough, but pretty good. We're almost there. What are your favorite kind of movies? So I will have to admit, unfortunately, I'm not the biggest movie person. Please do not kill me in the comments. That said, I can always get down for a romantic comedy, and I've come to realize that romantic comedies, there's an art to it. There's a science. It can't be too cheesy. It has to still be believable, but it can't be too like hyper realistic. There's definitely a balance that has to be struck, and it's not like every Hallmark movie is gonna be my like favorite movie, but romantic comedies can really take the cake there. 13, what is a dream vacation destination for you? So I would say I would absolutely love to go to Greece. It's very high up on my list. I want to see the volcanic beaches or like the black sand beaches in Santorini. I also would love to go to Barcelona, partially because one of my favorite soccer players used to play for Barcelona FC, and I noticed how beautiful Barcelona was. But either of those destinations you really cannot go wrong with. Next question is, how would you rate your childhood from 1 to 10? I would probably say my childhood was about an 8. It was really good, generally speaking. There was definitely some hiccups throughout it, as I'm sure all of us can say. Definitely some moments that I would probably want to change, but overall, cannot complain. 15, what is your favorite drink? So I'm gonna assume that this is an alcoholic beverage, which since I'm 21, I am allowed to answer that. I will say I don't drink that often, but if I was to drink, it would probably be tequila sunrise or cranberry vodka. I'm not too fancy of a girly when it comes to drinking, but can't go wrong with either of those really. In general, I do tend to just order water wherever I go though, so not sure how helpful those answers are for you. Next question is, do you have a favorite shoe brand? To say in short, yes, I do. Generally speaking, if we're talking about running shoes, my favorite shoe brand is Hoka 11s. not a question about it. They've been amazing for my feet, especially since I have some inward pronation. Now, if we're talking about sneakers in terms of what I would actually wear to school or classes, it's probably a split between New Balance. I have quite a few New Balances in my collection at this point, and they tend to be really comfy and cute sneakers to pair with dresses, jeans, etc., etc. If we're talking about a more higher brow shoe brand, then maybe I would say Golden Goose or perhaps Vejas. I've heard that Vejas aren't as comfortable, but I do have a pair of Golden Goose myself and I really enjoy them. So maybe one of those. So the next question is, do you plan to do YouTube after graduation? In short, yes. I'm really excited about some of the plans that I have for this channel. And don't worry, I'm not going to be going away once graduation does happen. What is the best book you've ever read? So as I've probably answered all of these questions, to ask me about anything that's just a straight up favorite, unless it's ice cream, is a really tough question for me to answer. That said, if I had to choose a favorite book that I've read, it would probably be Great Gatsby. It was one of the first books that got me to cry, which a lot of people find to be surprising since it's not a particularly super sad book, but I was just really touched by F. Scott Fitzgerald's portrayal of just how unfair life can be. Plus, the movie is awesome. I mean, have you seen the actors in it? Come on. What's your go-to TV show? So if I'm not watching reality TV, I would probably say Scandal. I'm not a big person on repeatedly watching anything, and it's the same with books. I don't normally reread things, but Scandal seems to be my one exception. I love going back and watching like my favorite scenes or my favorite episodes of Scandal since it was just such great TV. I'm sorry, if you guys were not fans of Olivia and Fitz, come on. Great TV, and I'm really wishing we could go back to those days of having solid TV every Thursday night, like back to back to back episodes of just great TV, and have that experience on Twitter again. I know Abbott Elementary is coming close, but that's just one TV show. I need something else. I need an entire slate of TV shows like what Shonda Rhimes was doing with Grey's Anatomy, How to Get Away with Murder, and Scandal. Like, just awesome. What a time to be alive. Next question is, do you have any allergies? Yes, I do. I'm allergic to pecans, pistachios, and dust mites. Oh my gosh. And I completely forgot to mention this, but it's actually the biggest thing that I'm allergic to, cats. All of my friends hate that because they want to have cats in their houses, and sure they could, but I would not be able to share the space because my eyes start watering, my throat starts getting itchy. It's really just a tough time all around. Next question, which is actually really interesting. I haven't heard this one in a hot second. Which of your parents do you resemble? So I would say personality-wise, I probably resemble my dad, but looks-wise, I'd probably resemble my mom. Maybe a mixture of the two, obviously, since I have both of their genes. But yeah, a mixture of both. Next question is, who are your favorite YouTubers? And to say the least, I have been watching a wide spread of YouTubers lately. It's not really like one category. For instance, for reality TV shows and particularly the Bachelor content, I've been watching Dave Neal religiously. In terms of lifestyle content, Maya Beatrice and Katie Bellotti, so she's Hello Katie on YouTube, have been awesome to watch. I love that they're both in New York City living their best lives. Outside of that, I also love to watch just random commentary channels, so T Noir, FD Signifier, Kidology. I feel like there's just a lot of great creators out right now. Do I have a favorite out of all of them? Maybe, perhaps not yet. But I just love getting to experience this content since I'm such a big long form content girly. And last question is, how do you stay in shape since you have quit your sports? Well, as some of you guys may know, I played soccer for 13 years before starting college, and I definitely went through ups and downs once I did ultimately finish playing soccer, because there's nothing like the freshman 15 when even if you're still working out, you're not doing the same intensity of workouts. So right now, what has been working very well for me has been brisk walks and Pilates. So I typically do Pilates 5 days a week, and then brisk walks as much as I can during the week, so at least 5 days, if not 7. It sounds like a lot, and maybe for some it would be a lot, but I see exercise as my ultimate decompressor and de-stressor, so it's pretty necessary for me, to say the least. But that's what I currently do just to stay in shape throughout all the stress of college and everything else that's going on. Alrighty guys, that is all of the questions that I will be answering for today for this Get to Know You tag. I hope this really helped you guys out to get to know me a little bit more. And if you have any other questions that will maybe end up in the next Q&A Get to Know Me tag that I will likely be doing in February, definitely leave some comments down below and I will love to answer them next time around. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys again next week. Bye.